Skeletal remains found believed to be that of missing entertainer medic corps stated. The police believe that the skeletal remains found in Walden District, St. Catherine on Wednesday could be that of missing entertainer Stephanie Medic Williams. The entertainer, who is from Mayfield Red Hills Road in St. Andrew, went missing on Thursday, August 24 last year. The skeletal remains of the body were found in a cane field in the district. Police say the remains will be processed and compared with DNA samples to determine the true identity. A missing person report on the entertainer was made by her mother, Millicent McCurdy, to the Constant Spring Police Station last August. The police had since commenced a missing person and possible murder investigation. The police said several lines of inquiry were made, several individuals interviewed, and statements were collected. The police say they are appealing to anyone who may have information that they believe can be used to assist the police to call the police emergency at 119, Crime Stop at 311 or the nearest police station. Farmer found dead at home in Clarendon. A man who went to a farmer's yard to pick fruits ended up finding his dead body in Clarendon on Thursday. The deceased farmer has been identified as 41-year-old Eric Campbell, a resident of James Hill in Frankfield. Reports reaching reporters indicated that around 11 a.m., a resident of the community went to Campbell's home to pick fruits and smelled a foul odor coming from the inside. The man alerted other residents of the community. Checks were later made by the residents who discovered the now-deceased body and summoned the police. On arrival, police saw Campbell lying on the floor of his 3-bedroom concrete structure in a partial state of decomposition. The scene was processed, the body taken to the Mapen Hospital where it was confirmed dead. It was later transported to the morgue pending a post-mortem examination. Cop killed in crash in St. Catherine. The Jamaica Constabulary Force is once again in mourning after one of its members died in a motor vehicle collision along the Gutters Main Road in Old Harbour, St. Catherine. Constable Renata Spence was attached to the Spanish Town Traffic Department. Police say about 1:18 a.m., Spence was riding his motorcycle along the roadway when he hit a dog. He reported the lost control of the vehicle which collided with a white Toyota Corolla Fielder. Spence was taken to the Spanish Town Hospital where he was pronounced dead on arrival. It is unclear if anyone in the Toyota motor car was hurt. March 8 court date for former councillor and assault charge. The case against former councillor for the Montego Bay West Division, David Brown, who reportedly assaulted his ex-girlfriend during a confrontation in May last year, has been put off until March 8. Brown, who is charged with assault occasioning bodily harm and malicious destruction of property, got the new court date and had his bail extended when he appeared in the St. James Parish Court on Thursday. Brown and the complainant had attended restorative justice sessions, but there was no resolution or agreement between the parties. During the brief court hearing before presiding judge Sasha Marie Smith-Ashley, Brown's lawyer Albert Morgan presented a witness statement and requested that the Crown contact the investigating officer to verify it. Morgan also proposed that the case be moved from the criminal list and that the parties see remedy in the civil court if they so desire. The matter was subsequently set for mention on March 8 when the court will decide on the next step forward. The allegations against Brown are that on May 28, 2023, the complainant, with whom he was in a relationship, was sitting in her car when Brown knocked on the vehicle's window. The two got into a dispute during which Brown hit the complainant in her face, causing pain and swelling, and also damaging her car window. Brown was subsequently suspended from the Jamaica Labour Party following his arrest and charge. The embattled councillor had previously faced legal trouble in 2018 in relation to an outstanding warrant from the St. James Family Court concerning a matter with the mother of his child, as well as for reporting verbally abusing a woman on social media in March 2018. Brown faced more legal issues after allegedly hitting a 65-year-old man with his licensed firearm on August 3rd that year. Brown spent 5 days in police custody before eventually being released. In 2019, the assault case against Brown was dismissed after the complainant declared that he no longer wanted to pursue it. Budget for next fiscal year set at $1.3 trillion. Government has budgeted a $1.3 trillion for the upcoming fiscal year 2024-2025. Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clark told Parliament that debts that mature this calendar year are included in the budget. He said over $400 billion will cover compensation expenses. The finance minister added that the government needs to be careful with allocations so that there are adequate resources for capital expenditure.
Jamaica's national budget is now firmly in the $1 trillion range, with total expenditure and payments for fiscal year 2024-25 estimated at $1.3 trillion. This is to be financed by revenue and grant receipts of $1 trillion and loan and other financing of $0.3 trillion. It should be noted that the government has debt maturing of $317 billion this year, which is included in the expenditure figure above, as compared with $125 billion that matured last year. When you look at non-debt expenditure, however, at approximately $849.9 billion, this is 10.9% higher than the non-debt expenditure of $765.8 billion in the fourth supplementary estimates of 2023-24. The revenue expenditure profile program, Madam Speaker, generates the targeted positive fiscal balance of 0.3% of GDP as required under the recovery profile generated following the suspension of fiscal rules in fiscal year 2020-21. Contributing to the $1.3 trillion expenditure profile are non-debt recurrent expenditure of $769.9 billion, capital expenditure of $80 billion, and debt service of $491.2 billion. Non-debt recurrent expenditure includes allocation for recurrent program expenses at $327.8 billion, as well as compensation expenses at $442 billion. The compensation allocation includes an estimated amount to conclude the implementation phase of the restructured compensation system during the fiscal year. Wages and salaries are projected to represent 12.6% of GDP in 24-25. Madam Speaker, and this is up from 9.2% of GDP in 2019/20. And it must be noted that the amount budgeted for public sector compensation for 2024-25 exceeds actual compensation for 2021-22, the year before the compensation restructuring began, by approximately $200 billion. It is obvious, Madam Speaker, that the government has made a concerted effort to address historical challenges with public sector compensation, and now it is time to consolidate. As a country, we need to be careful to ensure that sufficient resources are left for growth-inducing capital expenditure, for programs that can enhance Jamaica's human capital, and for social expenditure on behalf of more vulnerable members of the Jamaican society.
He was acting like a lunatic. The sister of Simone Cmore told the court on Thursday that her brother-in-law, Omar Cmore, lost his school and became violent when his wife packed her his clothes and told him he had to go because she was done with their relationship. Simone was murdered on January 2, 2018, along with a taxi driver, Winston Walters, on Stanley Terrace in Red Hill, St. Andrew. Cmore was arrested and charged for the killing. Also charged were Michael Adams, Dwayne Pink, and Shaquille Edwards. The men are on trial in the Home Circuit Court in downtown Kingston for 2 counts of murder and a count of conspiracy to commit murder. On Thursday, Simone's sister told the court that she listened to a recording that Simone played for her on a cell phone in the latter part of 2017. She proceeded to pack up majority of Omar's clothes. He came upstairs with the children and asked what was going on, but Simone did not answer. He then asked her again what was going on. She said, "Why don't you go?" and asked Val. He walked away and put the children in the room next door. He returned and literally just went crazy. The cable box from the TV stand. He started to rip the large TV from the wall. He grabbed other things and was cursing. He said, "You think you can embarrass me?" She was crying and told him it's done and that he can go and be with his other woman. My husband heard the commotion and came out and was trying to calm him down, but Omar flashed him off and continued exchanging verbal blows with Simone, the sister told the court. She added that her husband eventually got Cmore to go downstairs. Simone, she said, then went to take a shower, but a few minutes later, Cmore came bursting back into the room. She said that she started grabbing other things and even snatched 2 iPhones belonging to Simone. She said he forced her against a wall with his elbow, which was placed under her chin, while she grabbed at his face and neck. When I saw him pin her, I tugged at him to get off her. He was a huge guy. My husband came back into the room and he and Omar went downstairs to the garage. Simone remained in the room crying hysterically. In the driveway downstairs, Omar attempted to smash the window of Simone's black Mercedes-Benz. He was using his fists and going around punching. I told him he was acting like a lunatic and that he needed to calm down, but he was ranting and raging, the sister testified. When he was unsuccessful at breaking the window, he jumped in his vehicle and I was standing in the front of the car telling him to calm down. He intended to drive it into the Mercedes-Benz. He screamed at me to get out of the way and proceeded to put the vehicle in drive. At that point, my husband grabbed the keys and was speeding with Omar, who was ranting and raging. Simone came downstairs and she and Omar exchanged unpleasantries. He repeatedly called her a bitch. After a few exchanges, he stated that he was going to ensure their family crumbles and he was not going to stop until the family crumbles, he told the court. The sister stated that on December 22, 2017, she went Christmas shopping with Simone. The sister said she went to buy lunch at TGIF, where she saw Cmore seated at the table with a woman. She went over to him and asked what was going on. She said he claimed it was a business meeting, and she turned in, asking him if Simone knew that he was having a business meeting with the woman he was having an affair with. She then left the restaurant. She said that she didn't tell Simone about what happened until around December 31, 2017. The operator of the motor vehicle rental business, who also took the witness stand Thursday, said co-accused Adams rented a blue motor vehicle from him on December 29, 2017. He said he initially rented it to him for 3 days from December 29 to January 1, 2018, but made arrangements to keep the car longer. On Tuesday, Simone's distraught mother told the court that on New Year's Eve, about 12 a.m., she left church and was attempting to enter the premises where she lived and could not find the remote control to open the gate. While she waited for someone to open the gate, the mother said a very suspicious blue car pulled up beside her vehicle and the driver was smoking and peeking through her window. She said she was terrified by what was happening, especially since the vehicle had sped past her earlier, but came back to where her car was parked while she waited for Simone to bring the remote. The trial will continue. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.